And for my next trick, I will cut this bus in half. Hi everyone, so we'll be doing a below window roof raise. It's going to be a whole roof will be raised, not just partial. And I put in this painter's tape where it's going to be cut, and I marked every few feet with a marker where we're going to draw a line. We still have to draw that line, and we're going to use a grinder with a cutoff wheel. And I think this tape will help with the metal, make it a more of a cleaner cut. And we're going to be also removing the rivets around the doors. Okay, so we cut the sheet metal from the outside with an angle grinder with a cutoff wheel, but the blade is not big enough to cut into this head channel completely. So we just cut into it a little bit, and I drew the line with a marker, and now we're going to cut it from the inside. And we're going to do that to all the other head channels. Alright, so we're doing a full roof raise, and these head channels in the front in the very back, they're tricky to get to. You can't get with the angle grinder to cut it all. So I figured out, tried several different things. I do the angle grinder as much as I can, and then I get an oscillating tool, one of these, with a metal blade, and I'm able to get in there and finish it off. And yeah, cut the rest of the head channel in the back. That I can't reach with the angle grinder, because I'm not cutting from outside. The sheet metal needs to stay untouched and uncut, because I'm lifting this whole thing up. But this piece needs to stay, the one that's right above the windshield, that stays down. So I also had to cut these off, and I'm gonna just extend them. So yeah, the oscillating tool works the best to get those hard to reach places on the head channels, like right here as well. Hi everyone, so I wanted to show you where we removed the rivets for the roof raise and where we cut the existing sheet metal. We tried to minimize cutting the metal and just trying to reuse the rivet holes. So you can see here how we've removed those rivets. We didn't cut any of that sheet metal. Here there was a piece of sheet metal that we just, after removing the rivets, we could have taken it down. We took it down, except we just had to cut, I think, a piece right here. Actually, it might have come off without cutting it, and we're gonna later reuse it. We just have to cut a piece out so it fits, because we're raising this part, but we're not raising this part. So there was no cutting up there, just rivets. The only thing is we cut these rails because this side's going up and this one is staying, of course. I'll remove these rivets. So when this side goes up, we're gonna try to reuse these rivet holes and then add new sheet metal under. So we just cut it across. Here you can see one of the jacks holding the roof. There we go. And then around here we just removed these rivets, and then we did cut this sheet metal all the way up, and this piece will rise up and go with the rest of the bus on the left, and then this side stays down because we are not raising the door. This rear door we are raising above, and you can see all those rivets are getting removed. Well, we remove them, and that whole thing goes up, and these windows and this door stays down. We decided we don't need to raise the door and these windows in the back. And then just rivets removed around, few rivets up at the top, and then all the rivets above the door are out. We're leaving this door as well, we're not raising it. And then all these rivets down. We didn't have to cut any of that sheet metal, just removing the rivets up to here. And here we had to cut the sheet metal. And then across, cut it with an angle grinder. And come around here. We had to cut past this because this sheet metal is behind this piece, and there was no way for us to cut the sheet metal without cutting this one as well, so we had to go past there. So this is cut because this piece will go up with this side of the bus. This one stays around the door. Up here we remove those rivets above the entrance door. Rivets out there. No cutting there, all these rivets removed around. There you go. And then on the inside, I'll show you over here this head channel. This is by the door. This head channel we cut off partially with the angle grinder and then with oscillating tool after that. And then we cut these pieces off. You can across, because this piece it's staying down with the windshield, and we are raising this piece above it. This head channel is out above the entrance door, so this piece is staying in, and we're gonna add new piece there across. Over here we decided to cut right here, so if we were to cut the head channel down here where the sheet metal is cut, then we would have to cut all these welds here. So it would be easier. It was easier to just cut it above, and we're gonna add a 18-inch piece right there. Then on this side, above the driver seat, we cut this head channel partially with the angle grinder, and then the rest with oscillating tool with a metal cutoff blade. And then this head channel, and then again this head channel, we had to remove this window also, like on the other side. And we cut this head channel right here, so that piece goes out, up. This will go up with a window, so window will sit on there. And then you can see the head channels are cut, and then we have these DIY jacks, and they were bolted on instead of welded. And on the other side, it's just classic below the window roof raise. They're all below the window. Up here we have a side emergency door. We cut this head channel off by this one, we left it, and we cut it all the way up here. So this sheet metal will go up together with the left side of the bus, with this side, and then this frame is going up. So this whole thing is going up, and we're gonna add one other piece here, weld it on. And then up here we cut this. This piece is staying down. There you can see the sheet metal going up, because this is supporting the door. And up here actually we cut it right there. We did cut this piece from this head channel, because we did not cut the head channel here, we cut the head channel below right here. So this piece is going up because we have this curve here in the sheet metal for the window, so we wanted that to go up. So we could have probably cut it up there and did it a little differently, but this was also cut with the angle grinder and partially with the oscillating tool, and we didn't have to cut through the sheet metal there, just the head channel, and the sheet metal ends right here, so sheet metal will go up with the window. None other cuts here except this is the one that we showed you from the outside. Goes up to there. So there we go. Everything else is standard below the window cuts. So I wanted to show you the mistake that we made. We cut the head channel here below this cross piece, and we were supposed to do above. I did mark them both because I was going to do our roof raise differently before, and then I corrected it, but I forgot that I'm supposed to cut at the top side, not the bottom. So you can see now when we were lifting it, you can see how this bent, and then we realized, hey, this head channel is cut above this, so this is supposed to be cut below. So what we're gonna do is actually just cut this piece here, and then it's gonna go up, and we're gonna weld it to the head channel we had, and then we're gonna just add a new piece across here and weld it. So yeah, mistakes happen, but we caught it early. We noticed it was hard to jack it up, so we figured this is the problem. Alright, so once we lift it with the bottle jack a little bit, we come out here and tighten this top one. Sometimes one side is not going up evenly when we use the bottle jack, so we need to come here with a wrench and lift that side up so it's even as the other side. Alright, so we got the head channels. We raised the roof enough so we can put the inserts and the head channels like this, and we just line them up in both top and bottom head channel.
Little spacers.
There you go. We gotta do the rest of them. This is our bottle jack setup. And then we had another floor jack on the front side of the bus. And we ended up just putting up a pipe that we had. And it seems to be working. And of course we have these DIY roof raise jacks that we bolted on instead of welding, and they've worked out well. It was much easier than welding since we are not good at welding. Once you raise the roof, you'll have to if you have these head channels that have inserts in them, you're gonna have to raise the roof further out than what your actual height will be, raised height. to be able to put the inserts in. We had a problem where we would put the insert in and it would just fall out down. So we just put a little spacer at the bottom, and it keeps the insert in both top and bottom. Hey guys! Hi! Hi Zozo! Are you guys ready? Look at this roof raise. You're nervous? The hardest part is done. Alright, all the head channels are in place. One thing we noticed it at the top part here under the windows on both sides, the whole sides kind of like bent inwards. So you can see that the head channel is kind of going to the left. So here's our solution for bending out the top part of the roof, this part of the roof, the head channels that bowed in. We just found a pipe and cut it to size. We measured the bottom head channels and we made the pipe the same length, and we kind of jammed it in, and it did space it out to the same length as the bottom one. So now they're equal, and they should be fairly straight here. So we just gotta weld it. Here's an outside shot of all the head channels in place. We're still gonna need to buy some square tubing to add in the front and back for support. I wanted to show you and tell you about another issue we had. The whole roof was leaned forward about ½ an inch. I can tell because the sheet metal that I cut there on this curve, it had a ½ an inch gap, and I can, if I look at the bus from far away, I can see the whole roof was leaning forward a little bit. So we just hooked up a ratchet strap to one of the head channels in the ceiling. I had a hole in it, and to the stump, and we tightened it and pulled back the roof, and I just tack welded the head channels, a few of them on the inside, from the inside, and that seems to fix it. I released the ratchet strap and it's still staying. There's no gap. The roof still looks straight and in the right position. So that's another problem we had to tackle. Feel free to ask us any questions. We are very responsive. We want to help anyone who is doing a roof raise or any other part of the Skoolie build.